That actually is a really good question. And I've heard it many times before. But you know, Gertz, here's the truth. None of us are so powerful. None of us. You know, what we're praying for is not any specific thing for them. If we're trying to pray, oh, change this situation and make it better for so-and-so. No, the prayer, the strongest prayer is always, thy will be done, always. And if we can remember that, so we're not praying for a specific outcome, we're praying like Christ prayed on the cross. We are, and so whether it's our brother or our spiritual sister, or we pray, I always tell God, just in case you forgot for a moment, I'm reminding you. Could you pray for this person or help them? And leave that. But our prayers probably could never override the spiritual need of the person anyway. In other words, I'm not sure that we can mess with it. What we can mess with is if we talk to the person and are not in a position to help them choose a spiritual solution. If we help them stay in pain or feel sorry for themselves, that's why I said this statement, oh, you poor thing. It's never good for somebody. It's a different thing to say, I'm here with you. I care about you. I'll stay with you. To express compassion, but to help people feel sorry for themselves, less than themselves, or even to nurture the thought that somebody else has been horrible to them. That's almost never a good thing. And I say almost because there are times where we have to acknowledge with somebody, you're being hurt, but it's almost more to help them get out of it. So our prayers can be very strong that God step right in and help. That we're praying to God, not specifically about a solution for the person. Does that answer your question enough?
The suffering is because they need to learn their lesson or work out their karma or something.
The suffering, what we call suffering, but the situation is usually an opportunity to work through some karma.
Yes, and that is their job to work through that. So what is it then that we are adding with our healing prayer?
There are not just many ways to get through a specific karma, but there are many attitudes with which we get through a karma. And, you're asking it's logical, and it's very matter of fact, the question that you're asking. They have a karma. They have to get through it. What's the point? They have to go through it. What are we trying to do? So sometimes the prayer is, can you help them see that there's a reason to go through this? Can you help them have the strength to go through this? Can you help them feel loved or supported as they go through this? So there's many things that we can bring to it that don't interrupt we can't interrupt their karma, but we can sidetrack people. We can. I mean, couples can do it, marriage, many ways. We can sidetrack karma. It's true. But in the way that we're talking about it, there are many, many things to pray for that would be helpful to somebody without saying, take this away from them. Take this away from them. There's a story that somebody might have to help me with this. I think this is a true story of a woman in India whose father was very sick. Lakshmi shaking her head, and I think it was true, but and her family, because she had the ability to heal people, she had that ability, and her family kept begging them, save your father, and she did not want to because she could see if he lived, it was going to take him down a very bad road, karmically speaking. Finally, I don't know where I've read this, but many times it's a story that comes up as part of Ananda lore. Finally, she caved and she healed her father. And he became very mercenary and very, I think this is true, but if not, it's close, cruel to people. He did a lot of things in business that weren't good. I mean, he really lost a lot of spiritual ground. So that's the point of that story anyway. But we sometimes we can interrupt karma. But the question that you're asking and the answer that I want to give is don't, but pray for them that they find a way through it that is a direct path that will be helpful to their soul and that might be less painful for them. That's what I would say. Jyoti, did you want to add? You need the mic if you want to say something.
I was just going to say I would feel helpful if what I did was work on myself and my attitude around it, which is, Lord, help me to understand their situation and be supportive wherever I can be, and send love and acceptance around it.
Do you want to say it? Lakshmi wants to speak also. Thank you.
I have a mic.
Jyoti.
Thank you, Jyoti. I have a mic back here. I just, this is everything that you just said, Shanti, and that Jyoti is confirming or affirming, but the story that came to my mind, I don't remember who it was, someone else will remember the name, but there was a woman who was diagnosed with cancer, and she went through treatments and was getting to the point where nothing was working anymore, and everyone was coming to the realization that this cancer would take her life, and she went to Swami, and she asked Swami, what do I pray now? Because she didn't want to be saved. She was really in a place of accepting it. And his response was, pray to be in the light. And I find for myself, in response to kind of what you're asking, Gertz, it's exactly what you're saying, to the support, the ability to feel affirmed, to feel loved and protected through this struggle. But if that's what I'm often praying for with people, help uplift their consciousness into the light. You're not asking for an outcome, but it's always beneficial to help and to call on God to draw people up into the light. So that's just something I heard many years ago, but it's always helped me.
Yeah.
So.
We have a whole Sunday service where it's called Why Tell God Anything When He Already Knows Everything? And it's exactly about that. And that is, everything that's been said is important, but that is so important. We pray because it helps us. That is a huge, and what you're saying is, we don't do it for that, but as we pray, it changes us in deeply meaningful ways. And that is very important, incredibly important for all of us to remember. I really appreciate your bringing it up. Yeah. Swamiji devoted a whole week and more, much more actually, in all of his teaching to just that. So